live right now, but I'm not talking. Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back. It's good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? How is everyone doing today, y'all? All right, let's get started, y'all. So first of all, what you're looking at now, this is the severe weather outlook, the day one outlook for today. We're gonna go over Hurricane Beryl later in the video, but today we're gonna talk first few minutes of the video. We're gonna talk about the severe weather today on July 4th and how it could impact your July 4th plans. Fireworks could be interrupted tonight with severe weather coming um, into the state later tonight. So go over a full breakdown of that. Also go over weather models. Go over the weather models, the future radar for what tonight could possibly look like, and go over the atmosphere, what's driving this, all what's driving this severe threat today, and then we'll also go over um, the future, like after this frontal boundary comes through, or this cold front comes through, and what's behind that cold front, and then we'll also transition over to Hurricane Beryl, and have some good news for y'all of Hurricane Beryl as well. So let's get started to this live stream. All right, so right now this is the day one convective outlook. As of the 8 a.m. update from the Storm Prediction Center, we have a level 2 out of 5 in the state of Arkansas, mostly confined to northern Arkansas. From north of Jonesboro, north of Fort Smith. This includes Rogers, Fayetteville, Mount Home, Harrison. Also will include Cherokee Village, Mount Home, Walnut Ridge, Paragould, Mountain View, north of the Clinton, north of Batesville, north of Blytheville, north of Jonesboro, and Fort Smith. That is where your greatest severe threat is. And then we do have a large portions of central and northern Arkansas. We'll see some sort of severe weather today. We have a level 1 out of 5 for Jonesboro, Blytheville, down to Little Rock, down to the Metro, to Memphis, and eastward. And westward into Oklahoma. So, Mena, Hot Springs Village, Greenwood, Boonville, Fort Smith, Little Rock. So, anywhere in those areas, in the green shaded areas, in the yellow shaded areas, be on the guard tonight, later tonight, and later this afternoon for some storms that could pop up and go severe. So, that's the day one convective outlook. We'll go to tornado potential today. As of right now, as it stands, there's no tornado potential in the state of Arkansas. All that tornado potential is down in Missouri, and eastward into the Ohio Valley. So, y'all, I know every severe threat, we worry about that tornado threat. Today, not the tornado threat is low, but it's not zero, even though it's not in our combined area. In the area, we won't. Don't be shocked if we get a tornado warning or two by the next, with a tornado outlook cutting into Northwest Arkansas by the new outlook coming up. The wind threat will be the highest threat, I think, with this system. So cold front's coming through tonight, and then when that cold front marches to the east, we will have storms developing along that front and along the area. So once those storms develop, we will have some chances of microburst issues. So your downbursts and microbursts are going to be an issue today because it's going to be so hot. Oh yeah, that's another key thing. Out ahead of this front, before the front comes through, your health threat, nothing at all except for Northwest Arkansas as well. Out ahead of that front, we also have big time heat. Very, very hot outside today, hot and humid as well. Let's transition to the models now. So what you're looking at here now is the NAM model, one of the short range models here. This is the medium range NAM. So this is giving you an idea. This is the heat index values right here, the forecasted heat index values for today. This is early this morning. This is early afternoon, y'all. You can see portions of Arkansas at 110 plus, y'all. That's why we're stressing to y'all about the heat and about how hot it's going to be because you see how humid it is out there, and look at your dew points. Your dew points are above 70, reaching up to the 80 degree dew point spread. So I go to the next one and look at that. So we got the medium range NAM, y'all, indicating 81 degree dew points, and that is very hot and humid. And you can see where your storms are starting to develop too. See, some cases in Oklahoma could see one heat index up to 120. I mean, this is not going to feel good later today. out ahead of this front, and you can see where the front is right here. Um, oops. We can see where the front is right now. You see where your front is right in here, northern Oklahoma, northeast Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, starting to get into it. But still pretty hot in central and southern and southwest Arkansas. It is still hot, y'all. So drink lots of water. Make sure you stay hydrated. Take a lot of breaks if you need it. Also, and then it cools down because that cold front's coming through later today. So that's just one model idea. Not going to say this is going to be exactly what happens, but you can see the general idea of what's going to be going on today. Okay, so let's go to the HRRR model. And this is the HER model. We'll go to about 1 to 2 o'clock today. This is a NAM model. Hold on, let me go to the. I'm gonna go to another model here on Red Omega because it shows the time here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so this is the 12Z model run from today, the HRRR. So you can see here we have some thunderstorm development across across Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, and Iowa. But that's this morning's run. Yesterday, all these model runs had storms in northern Arkansas this morning. And and as you saw on radar, we have nothing going on right now. So models have not done a really good job anywhere in severe weather season. So this is 1 o'clock today. It's still going to remain very quiet, stormy wise, in the state of Arkansas. But things will change by the 4, 5, 6 o'clock time frame. We'll go to on 3 o'clock. You can see storms are starting to develop here. Northern Arkansas here, central and eastern Oklahoma here. Zoom in a little bit more here. You can see a storm starting to pop up there across north of Jonesboro there. We'll go to 5 p.m. 5 p.m. is where game time starts happening. It's where storms start to develop. We have that front starting to approach northern Arkansas with some really heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, damaging winds, maybe some isolated small hail with that as well. And you can see here by we go to 9 o'clock p.m. It's just where we it gets dark outside. This is where we start getting fireworks starting going on in July 4th. We have got to watch this very closely because this model run, the HRRR has not done a really good job on this at all. I don't think it's done a really good job at all this year. I don't buy this solution, but see I don't see only eastern northeast Arkansas seeing storms today. I see a bare clear slot here that could be filled in with thunderstorms later today because it's so humid and those thunders and the cold cloud tops going up into the storm. If y'all know what, but let me give you a brief definition. So you have the warm air coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, as well as humid air coming into the Gulf. You have storms overriding that warm air, and that warm air will start to condense, and then you've got thunderstorms developing. So those are overspreading it, and I can see frequent lightning tonight, and then you can see how the HRRR doesn't have too many thunderstorms in our area, so which is good. I think central Little Rock, if you're in the Little Rock and eastern Arkansas, I think it'd be overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning. We'll see our round of severe weather tomorrow. So we'll see what happens. But that's just one model depiction. I'll show you another model real quick. The HRWFV3 model, one of our one of the impasse models. Go right here to the 10Z model run, the 22Z 10-hour difference here. So you can see here this the HV3 FV3 model has some storms developing in Oklahoma. This one has done a pretty decent job on it. I think so. You can see where those storms are starting to fire up in eastern Oklahoma there, heading into northwest Arkansas. I think this is a good radar view right here, a good future radar indicating where you'll see these storms develop. So you can see at the 4Z model run here, you can see storms starting to approach the Little Rock area heading southeast because that's where your cold front is, and then it moves out. So I would keep an eye on the storms very, very, very closely tonight. Don't let your guard down just because it's a level 2. It's not a high risk, and it's not an enhanced or moderate risk. You still can get very tornadic winds with just damaging wind vent on a slight risk day. So just keep an eye on that. We'll go to your upper air, so we'll change the vectors here. We'll go to the full scale, the whole United States, and we'll go to our upper air dynamics. We'll go to 850 millibars. This map right here, I know this map could be a lot of confusing to some of y'all. I'm gonna break this down for y'all real quick. So we have you have your high pressure right here. You can see that red circle there centered right over Oklahoma. That is your high pressure. That's what's driving all this heat, y'all. Um, so that high pressure will be moving its way to the west, and then that cold front, it allows that cold front to move further south and east into our region, into the southern U.S. Um, so once that high pressure here in Oklahoma moves west, um, different color here, that cold front will be straight right here later today. So this is be as it approaches the area. So high pressure moves to the west, cold front marches down south and east, giving us the rain chances later tonight into the overnight hours. Now I said that we do have we do have some wind shear to work with here in our area. So we'll go. Hmm, we're not gonna do that. So we'll go to, if I can find it. Anybody got questions right now that I can answer severe weather wise? According for today only. For today's severe threat. Anybody got questions I can answer for y'all real quick? Put them in the chat and I'll answer those questions. Okay, nobody? Okay. And let's move on now. So we got, this is this is your hourly mesoscale analysis. So this updates every hour. So we'll go upper air 300 millibars. You can see how tight your ISO bars here are. Your heat dome is just overspreading the area. So a lot of that can be a little bit confusing. We'll go to supercell composites. We'll go change the vectors onto our region. So you do have enough supercell composites here. I think it is okay to go outside today, but just beware of the heat. Take water. Make sure you're hydrated. Make sure you have a lot of water. Be safe out there. Just when it hits about the 8 9 p.m. tonight, I would just keep an eye on the radar. Keep an eye on, have a way to get warnings tonight, just in case that severe weather does start to develop. And that severe weather will start to develop tonight around 8 o'clock tonight, right when fireworks are starting to happen tonight. So if you're gonna shoot off fireworks tonight, be careful. Look at your surroundings and just keep an eye on the weather. If the weather conditions aren't right and for to shoot those fireworks, I wouldn't do them if I were you because it'll cause a grass fire or something like that. So just be very careful. I'm not saying today is not a good day to go outside. Just you can go outside. Just be careful out there in the heat and stuff. Any more questions before I transition over to Hurricane Beryl? Okay, we'll transition now to Hurricane Beryl. So that's what I know most of y'all are here for. Hurricane Beryl. We'll go to Hurricane Beryl right now. Let's put on the cone. Wait, yeah, we'll put on the cone the latest National Hurricane Center cone. And your potential track. Now I have some good news about Hurricane Beryl now. This thing yesterday, I know the models were looking like it could hit the state, but now looking at model data last night into this morning, this track is a further western track, so this thing looks like it's going to be a Texas and northern Mexico issue now. But I do have some good news about heat-wise, as hot it is, how as hot as it is outside. Hurricane Beryl will bring in moisture into the state of Arkansas. It may not make completely landfall in the state of Arkansas, but it will bring some relief to the heat as the moisture comes in and storm chances start to increase when Hurricane Beryl makes it into southern Texas later next week, early next week. So um, you see here's the latest count from Hurricane Beryl. Hurricane Beryl now is a Category 3 hurricane. Sustained winds of 115 miles per hour. So still a major hurricane. But it is running into wind shear there, which is weakening the storm some. So here's a visible satellite from this morning, visible satellite imagery this morning. You can see this thing it's still putting pretty strong winds, but you can see how ugly the thing looked a few days ago, how strong that thing was, how Beryl was a few days ago. And now you see it now, and now it looks very lopsided because that wind shear is cutting into that storm and it's eating some of that convection, some of those thunderstorm probability and thunderstorm development around the center. So there's still some pretty strong storms around the center, but it's not combined into one area or one place. It's combined into multiple areas around here. So gonna have to keep an eye on that. See what that does. But it is supposed to weaken into a tropical depression and it makes landfall into Texas as a 35-mile-per-hour tropical depression. So some good news is that it's supposed to weaken, make a landfall in southern Texas as a hurricane, Category 1, as it is forecasted to be. Um, but there are some outliers out there that has Hurricane Beryl moving into the Gulf and shooting up north again. So we'll see what happens. We just have to wait. It's still a wait and see because this cone will change. This cone will change, and we're gonna have to wait till it gets into the Gulf. It's not even in the Gulf yet. It's still in the Caribbean Ocean. So we're gonna have to wait till it crosses the Yucatan and Belize area before as it heads into the area of the Gulf, southwestern Gulf. And then we'll see really what this storm does. If the high pressure moves east and then that cold front moves faster and moves down to the south and east faster, then we've got problems here in Arkansas, and then that storm could cut north and head into our direction. So, by that means, just keep an eye on the forecast from the National Hurricane Center, and um, I'll sure be keeping an eye on this system too. We're gonna definitely. I'm not letting my guard down here in Arkansas for a potential tropical system coming into our area, but I think it's becoming more and more unlikely. But I'm not putting it off the table completely yet. So just keep an eye on the forecast from your local meteorologist as well as from the National Hurricane Center and your local officials. So let's talk about the potential tracks that I have that could go now. So I had my official forecast that I sent earlier on posts yesterday or 2 days ago. Now you are going to see one of my second official forecast of where 3 potential tracks this thing could go now. Okay, so let's get started with the potential tracks. So we've got one potential track. You have the National Hurricane Center track. One potential track I have is it going this way and cutting north. So there's one potential track you have. So when I get done with all 3 tracks, I want y'all to screenshot it and post this. Now we have, and now we'll go to the second track. Your second track is if it crosses the Yucatan and it doesn't, and we have more wind shear in the southwestern Gulf, this thing heads right in the west and keeps going west into Mexico. Because if that high pressure doesn't move faster to the west and that cold front moves slower down into our area later tonight, then that then that then Hurricane Beryl could just keep going west and head into Mexico and not even impact the U.S. at all, except for storm surge issues into um, southern Texas. Now we'll go to my last track. We'll go. I think it will hit a little bit of Yucatan and hit this area and head toward Houston and make a landfall close to Houston and head into the Arkansas area. So this is a little. I know this could be a little scary here, but this is just three potential tracks I think this thing could go. We'll see what happens. Just by looking at the model data, we have like there's a lot of disagreement with weather models right now where this thing's gonna go once it heads into the Gulf. Um, but you have your National Hurricane Center cone. You have my first my first track, my second track, and my third potential track this thing could go. So um, I'm gonna leave this right here for a little bit and let y'all screenshot it. So let me know in the chat what y'all if y'all have it screenshot and stuff too. So okay, now we're gonna head into question time. Question time about Beryl. Anybody have questions about Hurricane Beryl as it tracks closer to the Gulf of Mexico? Okay, we got screenshots. Okay, good. Okay. What y'all think of the live streams so far? The last few live streams that when I started doing live streams, what y'all think about it? I'm gonna do a poll later, y'all, and we're gonna do a poll and see um if y'all like the live stream so far or what I can need to work on a little bit. So y'all any more questions before we start to head off? No questions? Alright, if there's no more questions, then we'll end the live stream and we'll see if we're gonna have another live stream later tonight. Maybe we'll see. I'm hanging out with my girlfriend tonight, so we'll see. But oh, how much longer till Beryl passes? Okay, so let's go back. So Beryl, it is moving pretty. It's moving pretty slow. So we have the storm started slowing down a little bit. So this thing started slowing down as it's approaching the Yucatan. This thing started. It was moving pretty fast, and then it started slowing down a little bit. I think Beryl will pass our area by, I'd say, by next Wednesday. I mean, early Wednesday morning. This thing could be completely in, demolishing into a tropical depression and into the Gulf. So, I mean, not into the Gulf, but into the Southwest U.S. So, Beryl will Beryl will pass pretty quickly once it hits into the Gulf. We'll see how slow. If it does slow down in the Gulf and it spends a lot more days into the Gulf of Mexico and starts to re-strengthen again, then we got problems. But if this thing starts speeding up because of the high pressure to the north and your risk to the east, then this thing could be out of here by Sunday night next week. I mean, not by Sunday night, by Monday or Tuesday next week. So um, that's, I'll say, by Wednesday morning, this Beryl will be gone, and then we'll transition back into heat later in the week too. So hope that answered your question. Thank you so much. But I can tell y'all for sure, once Beryl passes, we're gonna have a break in tropical activity. Also, we're gonna have a break in tropical activity because you're gonna start having sarin dust come off the coast of Africa, and it's gonna, any storms that try to move into the dust, it will kill off that storm, kill off all the convection of the storm. So we will have a break in tropical activity for a week or so, just for a week, and then we'll go right back into an active pattern of tropical weather. And we still have about 90% of the season to go. So this, we haven't even hit peak season of tropical activity, and this is still a historic storm. It was such a historic storm. We're not even into the peak season yet, and we have a category, and we've already had a Category 5 storm in our not even peak season of tropicals and hurricanes. So this is pretty rare to see Hurricane Beryl as it was. So yes, y'all heard that growl? That was my stomach. Sorry. Alrighty, y'all. Well, we're gonna head off here, and I will catch y'all later on another live stream. Probably, I would say maybe 6 o'clock tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens, and y'all have a good day. Happy 4th of July, and y'all have fun with y'all's family and have family time and be safe, y'all. All right, I'll catch y'all later.